And it was like just right when people were supposed to start showing up. I was like, well, maybe you should run up there and get a bag of ice. Our ice maker will never keep up with everybody. So I stayed home, and if I would have went, you would have probably been bailing me out of jail because I don't know if I could have stopped myself.
I don't know how I stopped myself, honestly. I turn around. You know what I said to myself? I said, this isn't what Clay wants. And he was like, don't even pay for it, just go.
See, I wouldn't have the option.
That's the thing, is I've never had that kind of like,
The anger.
yeah. And the way that kid said it, like it was a joke to him, I was like,
I wasn't
I
paying
got
attention to
home,
what happened.
I got home, my veins were popped, I was crying, and he was like, what happened? It was in Speedway yesterday. We needed a bag of ice and some pop, because we had a bonfire last night with some friends. And I had these two teenagers, and they were looking at the back of my car, calling crew and all that.
Yeah.
Real weird when I pulled in.
Uh-huh.
And then as I'm going to check out, the one leans in, isn't that the kid you drug?
No shit.
I turn around, I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
Woo. I got
I got goosebumps.
I got some
was very-
interesting stuff that I'm going to talk about that you guys don't know, and some stuff that I found out today from Zach. He's a good friend of Colin's. He came by and visited Colin today, and it was cool. Okay, so everybody knows I'm going to try to answer your questions at the end. I'm thankful that you guys are all here. We're going to get started in about 9 minutes, so we're a long ways away. But just the same, we'll get started nonetheless. Sorry you can't see my face, but you will when I sit down. Wow, we've got like 38 people watching already. That's pretty good.
One of my questions is that I still don't know where it happened.
21 Mile and Fruit Ridge. Right there on that corner.
It's like in the middle of nowhere. So
Yeah.
we were talking about that today. Zach was saying like how, some of our friends said that he was laying there for like 20 minutes.
Right.
And I don't know if he, without anybody being called.
Right.
That would have meant 40 minutes before the ambulance arrived. But I don't think it was that long.
And,
I think it
the
was
doctor
like 20
told
minutes.
us straight up 10 more minutes and he would not be here.
Yeah, you'd
Right.
be dead.
If the neighbor didn't find him, the neighbor saved his life as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And it was your guys' neighbor, right?
No.
No, it was his friend's neighbor, but I mean, it's like a mile and a half from our house.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, so they must have seen the whole situation and went.
No, he wasn't home. He was happened to come home in time.
That's an act of God right there.
At-
That was God being like, you need to go here and stop.
But yeah.
Episode 19 on Colin's thing is the one that, like, it goes through the whole scenario and is pretty close to the actual, obviously we can't say it's facts because
Right.
I haven't read the police report, but it should be as close to the facts of what happened as anything could possibly be. So, it's one of them things.
What are you guys watching on there?
Just his vitals. It's like
Pat can explain it
his
to you.
oxygen level and his heartbeat, his pulse.
Okay.
So if like any of that stuff like raises up and it gets into yellow or anything like that, that's when we stop live and we move to another area if there's parts of the live that we haven't got to. I think the last thing that I'm going to do in the live is talk about Chris Becker, because I got some messages for him, but I would have to assume that during the live more people are going to join, and that's probably, who knows, it might take 30 minutes, it might take 15 minutes, I don't really know.
Right.
But I'm going to go through the list that I made of, people and stuff like that. So, or, stuff to talk about. I got some bullet points. I don't normally do any of that stuff. I'm not that together. Obviously, second live. Oh,
Right.
yeah, I can set up the camera in 2 minutes. Can you show me how to do this?
That's you.
that's just how I do things.
Right.
I mean, when we're in business, we take care of it when it needs to be taken care of. It's like, whatever, Hey, everybody.
Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll wake up for a little bit more.
5 minutes. We will start. You want to see who's on here? You can see their chats and stuff. I have to use that for the thing.
He said hi. Hi, Pat, Colin, and his uncle.
You guys are Uncle Jeremy and Josh now.
There you go. Gladly.
Yeah, somebody, one of the nurses brought him this blanket. Oh wow, Jersey Shore. Kent's. I thought that said Missouri. Republic of Ireland.
Oh wow, that's the best things.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow, super interesting. Just tighten up the bolts on the lad and get him on the road. It's pretty funny.
From Traverse City, originally from Grant.
If you guys have anything you want to talk about, I'm not going to be able to watch the comments and read what I have to write, but there's going to be moderators, Rick Root and Eric Marrow, which might come off JRT. These guys have been following the story. Rick is Colin's uncle, Pat's brother, my brother. Yeah, man, I got some good stuff that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. And like, I don't know, 3 minutes, I want to give everybody the opportunity to get on and be on here. Not all of it's going to be stuff that you don't know, but if there is somebody who doesn't know something, please ask, because either myself or one of the moderators will tell you what it is and what's happening.
Did you hear what Jen said about Speedway? They're still bragging about it.
It's not what he said. He said that they were talking about it. Isn't that the kid you drugged? Yeah, they're just ass clones. Who do you think broke into Camry's car?
Who at Walmart? No, we're not going to make all them kind of assumptions.
Hey, I mean, who else is going to break into a car that says Colin Crew, crime, victims, except for the ass clowns that did the thing? I mean, really.
Oh.
That's a totally separate issue.
I just heard about it and I ain't mad.
My daughter-in-law's car was broken into the day before yesterday, and all over it, it says Colin Crew, Justice for Colin, and a bunch of stuff was stolen out of it. And I thought to myself, well, who would do that, with that stuff written all over it? And, well, it's possible. Maybe these guys who did this were the ones who did that. I don't know. And there's a delay on what I see on my screen versus what you guys see. So I'll do my best to answer you guys. And first off, I think Pat should talk about Colin's condition for the day. I think I know what she's going to say, but I know you guys all have something that you want to say to her. So I'll let her do his condition report, and then I'll come back and I will talk about other stuff so she doesn't have to be on camera.
Yeah, that'll be easy. This has been his condition today. I'm irritated from it, but he's doing good. He's resting. It's his only day off, so I'm letting him have it. Okay.
Yep, you're good, baby. Okay, so these two guys behind me, Josh and Jeremy, they're good friends, and they have made some, like, if you've ever seen the marble thing that I'm always talking about, it's like this Andy Warhol type thing. Freaking love it. Don't get me wrong, I love the cards, I love the grill, I love all of that stuff. But that was pretty damn impressive. So I was very thankful for that. First thing that I wanted to talk about was, if you guys are ever faced with a situation and you're involved in a situation, you know, either on the, regretfully, hopefully not in any position such as myself, but if you are, or you're trying to help somebody out, just do it. Don't ask. You are all adults. If you want to do something kind for the family, do it. I can't say that enough, because I get like 100 messages of people wanting to do stuff for us, and we absolutely love it. But it becomes a little bit weird because I don't want to say yes, you know, but I don't want to say no, you know, but I don't want people to think that I'm unappreciative, because if it wasn't for you folks and me doing this stuff, I would never have probably gotten through this. This takes my mind off of what's going on with Colin, and it's extremely sad, but hopefully we're going to learn from it, and hopefully it's something that we can teach you folks.
You want to drop it off? I know you want that.
A lot of people ask, what can they do to help? Like, as far as like progress the awareness of this situation. How can we change laws? How can we inform the media? Well, I've said it in other videos in the past, where doing anything that you think you would do if you were in this position, reaching out to legislators, reaching out to prosecutors, reaching out to just about anybody you can think of. Usually that stuff is down in my description, but Nancy Grace, 2020, Frontline, Dateline, shows like that, sending this story from hundreds of different people will get recognition on this story. And here's the issue. All across America nowadays, there is people that are dealing with these types of crimes, maybe not exactly like Colins, but dealing with crimes and victimizers that they can get no justice for. They can absolutely not hear anything or say anything about them. This situation literally makes me feel like a victim. The other day I was in the hallway, and every day this is like I don't know that this isn't worse than him passing, because sometimes him looking better or acting better is days apart, seeing little types of movements, little types of things happening with him. It seems like it's almost as bad as it would have been. I don't want to say it again, but it's just one of them things that it's every day it's a knife right here, unless he does something that progresses him to get better. Now, yesterday was an extremely good day. I was in here talking to him, running my mouth like this, and he wouldn't wake up for me. And then I started writing my daily condition report, which normally Pat does. But I was writing my own because it was like 7:30 and she hadn't done it yet. So I started writing it, and I do speech to text. So I started talking, and then I could see him moving over there a little bit. And I went over to the other side of him, just like they are right now. And he was opening his eyes, and, he was opening his right eye. He opens it just a little bit, and he'll like relax his arms and stuff like that. And then he started like moving his mouth a little bit. It almost was like he was trying to talk to me. So it was like the best thing I ever seen. Pat had said that she had seen it a couple times, but I had never personally experienced that much activity from him. So I was super happy about that yesterday, and it made me feel really good. If any of you receive video messages from me, I doubt you would be here watching this live and you don't want to receive them. Just unfriend me on Facebook Messenger, because then I won't send you the messages. It's not a big deal. You guys got lives. Everybody's got things to do. This coming Wednesday, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we got new shirts. I only made 16 of these, so I only have 16 right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell the 16 that I have Wednesday between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. across the street from the Speedway. There's a little like pavilion there in Kent City, Michigan. I will be there with stickers and shirts. The shirts are $28. They're $20 to produce. $8 goes back to Colin's rehabilitation stuff for like the house, you know, to do the birthway. And I kind of think we're going to have a structural engineer come in to be able to make the house right for him because of the way the house is laid out, to be able to make his room appropriate for him. And that's if he comes home in a wheelchair and isn't able to walk or move himself. We're hoping that doesn't happen, but we won't know that for a couple of weeks. So we're going to be working on that with any of the money that you guys donate. It's always going to go to a good cause. We're not thirsty. We don't, whatever about money, don't really care, but I do have to mention it because people, like, where do I donate? Well, it's always in the description of the videos, and it's pretty easy to find. If you want to purchase a t-shirt and you're from out of the area, down in the description of like 24, 23, most of the videos are going to have at the very bottom, they're going to have a post office box and it's going to say Thomas Clay Rogers, YouTube, The Clay Way. If you send me a check or money order, whatever, and you want one that way, you could do that. But there's all this PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all of that stuff. All you got to do is email me thenewclayway@gmail.com and say, I want this size shirt, sent, blah, blah, blah. I PayPal'd you, or whatever the situation is. It's always easy to find ways. You just got to make sure that I respond and say, yeah, I got that, and I will ship you that. I think shipping's going to be $2 or $3 pretty much anywhere in the nation, so I don't think that's going to really be an issue. Oh, I also need to know on the shirts if you want it to say heathens or assholes. The shirts that I made up now all say heathens. I did not put assholes on the back of any of them. I don't know how people feel about that. I personally don't mind. I kind of like the asshole shirts. But I also got to be mindful of other children and stuff like that. So I felt like heathens was more appropriate for the grander scheme of things. All right, here's the part that was the reason that I made this video. There's a couple things, and one of them came to my attention today. So I'm going to break down the scenario of how this happened and some little things that I had forgotten about that I thought were trivial at the time. So this is kind of new story type, but not that much different than what I thought. So originally, there's a house. There's 2 cameras on the edge of the house. The police officers tell me that they see Colin's left arm go in the driver's window and the car take off. Car takes off down the driveway at full speed, goes 2.5 football fields, and there's a neighbor at the other home that sees the car race past his house at full speed, and then there's Colin laying on the ground at the end of his driveway. Now, how I found that out was I went out to the crime scene, I measured it, and then I went over and I was talking to the neighbor because I didn't know where Colin was found. And he described to me what happened. He described the car going by and Colin being there. But during that conversation, he said, and I don't know if this is important, but it wasn't important until tonight. He had said that the car pulled in his driveway, turned around, and backed up and went into the driveway where the incident happened. Well, that's important because he more than likely, they were probably second guessing what they were about to do, because they had went over there they had stolen the vape pen the day before from Isaiah, I believe his name's Isaiah, Isaac or Isaiah, had stolen the vape pen from him the day before, and they were going to resell that vape pen to Isaiah. Well, Colin was there, and Colin got involved in that situation, and that's how this all turned out. Well, that leads me to believe there might be more intent. That's another thing. Chris Becker said that he couldn't prove intent. But, so I thought about this for a couple days. I thought, man, maybe there was some curriculum that these kids were taught in school that would help lead them to know that they should not throw a person off of a car at 45 miles an hour after 32 seconds. And I came up with the analogy of a 10-year-old knows not to drop a cell phone on the ground. It's going to break. So if you just want to question that, would any 10-year-old throw a cell phone out the window at 45 miles an hour and not expect it to break? They would do that if they're a douchebag, and obviously these kids are douchebags. Their parents are probably pieces of crap too. So, you know, that's intent, if you ask me. Anybody would think that that would seem to be reasonable. If you're telling me a 15 and a 16-year-old can't throw a cell phone out the window at 45 miles an hour and expect it not to break, they're certainly aware of that at their age. The other thing, and this was the thing that I wanted to tell Pat that I thought of. Is she in here?
I think she's right there.
Oh. She's not in here. Hey. Well, she ain't much help.
Here she comes.
Okay, good. Okay, so another thing that I thought of, if these teenagers, okay, so in the state of Michigan, you can commit a horrendous crime, and if you're tried as a juvenile, you will serve 0 days in jail. The only way you would, as a minor, would ever serve any days in jail is if they're charged as an adult. So I started thinking about it. I'm like, so if they go to trial and they're charged as minors and they're not going to do any jail time, what's the point of taking them to trial? But if you take them to trial as adults, and even if you would lose, you still have a possibility of gaining something. So isn't doing something and getting something, even if we lost at trial and tried them as adults, wouldn't that be more valuable than trying them as juveniles? I mean, ultimately, I'm willing to walk away. Would you agree? Like, if they tried them as adults and they were not found guilty, wouldn't you agree it would be better than them not getting anything at all? At least there's a possibility of them getting some kind of...
I mean, yeah, anything is better than nothing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but we could end up with nothing, but still it wouldn't matter.
I don't care. This is only one. Our family, that's it. I don't care about anything else.
So that was my thought, is like, what are you doing if you're doing nothing? I mean, you might as well try to do something. I mean, you know, even if we possibly lost, doesn't that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
make them go through the court system
Yeah.
at least.
Let them live
Something.
their months in hell.
Yeah.
you know, because then they're trying to, you know, then they're adults. They're being tried as adults. There actually might be consequences for their crimes. So I'm saying, what the hell? Why not just try them as adults? Even if you fail, whatever, who cares? Doesn't matter. At least they got to some kind of suffrage from it after all of our suffrage. It's insane. I know.
Their lives are never going to be good. That's just how karma works.
Now, here's another thing that you, depending on how closely you follow this story, uh, the car belonged to the passenger's mother. So the passenger goes over every day, and he picks up the driver. All right. But somehow this day, so this happens every day according to other kids. All right. The passenger drives his mom's car over to pick up the driver, and the police did not think very highly of the passenger. They didn't really speculate on the driver because he obviously caused the incident, but they thought poorly of the passenger. So then I started asking myself, what kind of person, if I was 15 years old and I was driving my mother's car all over the place and I doesn't have a driver's license anyways, why am I going to relinquish the wheel to my friend when I get there? So I started kind of questioning, was the passenger not the driver and the driver not the passenger? Not that it really matters. I think they're both guilty as shit. They left the scene of a crime. They left him on the ground to literally die. So as far as I'm concerned, all three of them are just as bad, because the third one, even though they said he didn't want to have anything to do with it, he still didn't call the police when he got home and tell them, hey, listen, my friends that I didn't want to have anything to do with just left a guy on the side of the road to die. He never did that. So, I don't really have much to, think about these guys, but that's pretty much the gist of what I wanted to say tonight. Sorry, I just try to keep it as short and sweet. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them. I will look at the iPad, and there's like a 5-second delay, so I can answer them.
Someone asked how old is Colin?
How old is he? He just turned 18 July 8th. He's still my baby, though. I don't care if he's 18 or not. He still had a year of high school left. He's fluttering his eye.
Yeah, he's been doing that for a little bit.
I'm telling him to wake up and say daddy. So he probably wouldn't say daddy, he would say dad. He'd probably say, Dad, stop. Dad, okay.
Somebody said, what about the boys that Colin was sticking up for? How come they haven't stuck up for Colin or said anything?
They have, and they did. They immediately, fessed up to the whole scenario, what was going on with the vape pen, the cell phone, their cell phones, along with Colin's cell phone, collaborates that Colin wasn't supposed to be a part of this. As far as the names go, there was a nice lady, her name's Connie, I'm pretty sure she's on here. She made mention of some names. I cannot confirm nor deny them names. And I just can't have anything to do with, names of people and stuff like that. But they're definitely out there. It's a small town. It's a town of 1,200 people. So it's not hard to find out. And that's pretty much that.
Someone said, can he understand or hear when someone is talking to him?
Yes, I believe he can. That's why I don't usually talk about this stuff
Up until yesterday, I would have disagreed with what Pat said. She said he can. Yesterday, I seen it for myself. I do believe at certain times he's more cognitive than others. It this starts out slowly, like a light that is very very dim, and then sometimes will get brighter, but then go dimmer, and get brighter and dimmer, brighter. It's works like a pinwheel. So he will hopefully wake up within a couple weeks. We're hoping for that, and physically he's healing up. So psychologically is the part where we really need your prayers and your blessings. It means a lot to us. Hmm.
There's some
As far as like the civil suit goes, what will happen is how that stuff works is you sue the insurance, you sue the owner of the automobile, I believe is how it works. Their insurance pays out. The great Governor Whitmer, she changed the law, or had a lot to do with changing the law a couple of years ago that makes a maximum limit on penalties, monies you can receive from insurance companies. So yeah, his life apparently, according to Governor Whitmer, is worth $250,000 or $100,000, depending on what kind of insurance they had. We still don't have the name of their insurance company, so we don't even know, how that's going to work. You can sue the family for more money. The owner of the car's family for more money. But that is what it is. But thank you for putting a value on my son's life. That's really kind of an irritating subject as far as I'm concerned. But this isn't about money. I've made money for a long time. I'm very blessed. I have built a very good channel that is not based around stuff like this. So I have a couple of different income streams, and about 3 years ago I filed for bankruptcy. But fortunately I had already started building this channel, so financially we are not wealthy, but we're okay. Anybody else say anything that...
Are you able to take him home and take care of him once your house is fixed for him?
Yes. We can take him home and take care of him once the house is set up for him. There will be a point where they just kick us out of here and tell us to go on about our merry way, because either he's going to improve, and if they constantly see improvements from him, they will keep him in here so they can keep improving him. If they see like a flat line for a period of time, that's when they say, you're done, go home, even if he's like this. Unfortunately, that's what can happen. We hope that doesn't happen, and we know with the power of prayer that won't happen.
Well, we'll be there to bed, that's for sure.
Righto. Any other questions you see that were...
Let's see. Someone said, did they ever see if the car was backed down the driveway, or did they turn around when they got there?
That I do not know.
Nikki. That's Nikki.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if the car was back down the driveway, if they went straight. They could have came up in the driveway. There was plenty of area for them to turn around up in the driveway, and they could have turned around. I doubt I would have a hard time backing up that driveway, and I've been driving for about 30 years. I mean, it wouldn't be impossible for me. It'd actually probably be rather simple for me, but it'd be difficult for most people that do not back up cars for long distances. So I'd be surprised if they did that. But if you could tell me why that would be relevant, I'm not sure. But I can kind of think that if you think the car was, how did they back down the driveway with Colin out the door? I doubt they did it that way. They probably came up and turned around in the yard, would be my guess. Because it's pretty easy to do that.
There's a lot of comments on here about his coma score. Is it still 4.5?
I'm not sure. I haven't got the numbers.
Okay.
Riley has the weekend off.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
We do not know the answer to that, but that is a very good question, and we will have the answer to that either in Monday's update, Tuesday's update, but by Wednesday we should be able to answer that question. Hopefully it's higher. I would have to assume it is, because he was a 4.5 at ICU in Helen DeVos. So I would assume it's higher because he does have more function than he had when he was over there.
Our date right now is August 30th so far, but that could change, so we really don't know when he'll be able to leave. Just depends on his progress.
Megan said, remind your audience to call Dana Nestle's office, the Attorney General. Yes, please do that. Anything is better than doing nothing. It's better to be pointed in one direction. So Dana Nestle is the direction we want to point in. He sounds terrible when he coughs, but it's actually good that he's coughing because he's getting that phlegm up out of his lungs. How's his fever today, babe?
He didn't have fever.
Good deal.
So this morning, and it wasn't even bad. I need to take care of him.
Well, I greatly appreciate you guys. 713 people, or 700, I wish. 213 people is a lot of people to have on a live. I don't know how many people should be on a live, but I appreciate you all being here.
Don't
Very.
know if you have the number for Dana right now.
We do not. But I will post it in the community page. Thank you so much, guys. It's been 30 minutes. I appreciate y'all being here. Look down in the description of the videos to find the information that you guys asked good questions about. I'll go back and read the questions and comments. And if any of them, need to be answered, I will answer them. If I don't answer you when you send me a message on Facebook or even here, please don't take it personally. I try to answer everyone. It's a lot of people to keep up with. I've always answered everyone on my channel. I want my following to be real. I don't want it to be, like just people that see me, show you how to hold your zipper up or how to take a tire off of a car. I want it to be people that want to be here, that are inspired by the videos that we make. And we will be getting back to automotive videos pretty soon. I've got like 6 or 7 that I need to edit out that I was making before and during this journey that we're on. And I will be doing that very soon, so I promise you, please don't leave, because all I'm doing is Colin stuff, but I think this stuff needs to be done. It's good good medicine for me, and obviously a lot of you are following, so we want you to be a part of this journey with us, because it heals us and hopefully helps heal you in the future. God bless, folks. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Jeremy, Josh, great folks, great guys.
Y'all have a great night.
So,
Good night, everybody.
thanks.
You're good, buddy. Doing all that. Awesome job.